With only 2 days left until our first round matchup against Los Angeles Clippers, we got some new reports regarding Kawhi Leonard and his availability, whether or not he's actually going to be ready for at least game 1. And if you've been keeping up with the channel over the last few days, we've been reporting just endlessly on Kawhi Leonard, keeping a very close eye on the Clippers superstar, because with game 1, at least for the entire matchup, we want the Clippers healthy. As I've seen the comments, I see what all the fans are talking about. Mavericks fans want the Clippers at 100% health, so when we beat them, it's going to feel real good. We don't want to hear no excuses. However, we do have new reports from Skip Bayless that says maybe Kawhi's not that ready for game 1, and we're going to break that down and talk about what that really means for the Dallas Mavericks. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, 57.6% of you guys watching are not subscribed. The number is slowly going down day by day. But if you want to stay up to date on everything Mavericks related, all our live streams, our giveaways, all the news, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. We are going to be going live for every single playoff game, so make sure you tune in and don't miss a thing. But with this video, with what we're talking about is Kawhi Leonard. We've already reported, the past few days on the situation. He missed about the last 7 or 8 games of the regular season with a right knee inflammation, and we all know about Kawhi Leonard. If you don't know, now you're going to know. Kawhi Leonard is a playoff riser. He's a 2-time final MVP. He won a championship in San Antonio, won one in Toronto, and he's still trying to win one in Los Angeles with the Clippers with Paul George, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and the rest of those guys, with Coach Ty Lue, who's also a championship coach. However, as we do know with Kawhi Leonard, he is injury prone. We've seen the injuries when he was in San Antonio with the thigh bruise that kept him out for a season. Even in Toronto, he was still, load managing for a few stretch of games. And then in Los Angeles, we've seen him have to go do surgery again on his, I want to say it was his Achilles, ACL. I think it was ACL. However, Kawhi Leonard is still not a player who you want to count out in the playoffs. Like I said, he's a playoff riser. He is a threat. And me, personally, I believe he's the only real issue that we would have on the Los Angeles Clippers team. There are a few other players. I know Norman Powell off the bench is pretty deadly. They've got Bones Highland, I think, is there too. They've got good players that if we're not careful, they're gonna have some random guy go 8 of 9 from the 3-point line. But in regards to Kawhi Leonard, the reports on whether or not he's going to be healthy and ready has varied. As we reported right here, Kawhi Leonard still battling inflammation, remains questionable. This was a report from yesterday. The Los Angeles LA Clippers All-Star Kawhi Leonard still has inflammation in his surgically repaired right knee, and his status is questionable for game 1 against the Dallas Mavericks. And like I said, we've been on top of that all week, it seems, because we want to know, Kawhi Leonard, will you be ready to play? Will you be ready to take this L? And regardless whether he's playing or not, the Dallas Mavericks should constantly train, constantly prepare, and get ready as if the Clippers will have a fully healthy roster. Rightfully so, it's the playoffs. You don't want to mess around. Yeah, it's a best of 7. But those first 2 games of a playoff series, it's kind of like a give and take. You want to kind of feel out your opponent, see what they're working with. I'm not going to be too upset if we can't steal an away game in either games 1 or 2. I'd like to win games 1 or 2. However, you want to feel out your opponent, see what they're working with. It's chess, not checkers. However, we do have a new update from a reliable source, and at least I think is a reliable source, with Skip Bayless saying this. He said, "I've been told that he, Kawhi, won't be able to play in game 1. They're going to try for Tuesday, but they don't think he'll be able to guard Luka Doncic at this point." Now, however you may feel about Skip Bayless, if you don't like his show, you don't like him, he is a person who is pretty credible. He's very much plugged in. He's been around for decades. So I think that he knows what he's talking about. But however, still take it with a grain of salt. Anything can happen. And you can kind of take it both ways. You can still look at it as, it's smoke and mirrors. The Clippers are just trying to, play mind games with us. Kawhi will play in game 1. And if you feel that way, rightfully so. If he does play game 1, if he plays every game of the first round, he may not be at 100%, and that's why I believe that the Clippers may sit him out for game 1 just to get as much rest as possible. Because if Kawhi's not 100% for game 1, that could, and if he goes out there and plays his normal minutes, he could re-aggravate his injury or worse, injure himself furthermore where he's out for the entire playoff series. So if the Clippers are confident that they can win games 1 or 2 without Kawhi, we may not see him till games 3 or 4 maybe. Or for the very least, we may not see him till game 2. However, if you do believe these reports and if you do think that, hey, maybe this injury is a little bit more serious than you may be validated in that thought. Because with the NBA, with how the rules work around reporting injuries, you can't really sit here and say, oh, Kawhi's hurt, he's going to miss a game one, and then he pops up for game one last minute. There are strict rules on how you report injuries. So, with that being said, maybe there is some validity to the reports that Kawhi Leonard may not be available for game one. I mean, we saw with Derrick Lively, it was reported that he is back. He's playing full practice with the guys, full contact. Jason Kidd is singing his praises, saying the guy looks great, he's ready to roll, which is just music to my ears because, man, I miss me some Derrick Lively. However, with Kawhi Leonard potentially being out for game one, that could be huge for us. And again, I understand Mavericks fans want the Clippers at 100%, so when we beat them, there is nothing that they can say, no excuses, just pure, sweet revenge. And I'm all here for it. But you got to play who's in front of you, and if Kawhi Leonard isn't ready for game one, I understand why the Clippers would sit him out for game one, just to be cautious. Maybe they really do believe in playoff P and James Harden and Russell Westbrook to be able to win a game against Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving and Dwight Powell without Kawhi. Yeah, good luck. We have everything we need, regardless of who we're playing against in the first round. If Kawhi sits, if Paul George sits, if Ty Lue sits, it doesn't matter who's sitting out, who's playing. This Dallas Mavericks team is ready. We're at 100% health. I think the only reports I saw was Tim Hardaway Jr. is sick. Take some Pepto-Bismol, you'll be fine, buddy. But regardless, this Dallas Mavericks team is ready to go. And I think the difference between the Clippers in the Dallas Mavericks is, yeah, we were out without Derrick Lively. We took care of it. He's back. He's ready to go. There is no question marks on the Dallas Mavericks team right now regarding our health and our availability and our readiness to play the game. However, for the Clippers, yeah, it's one thing. Kawhi's not going to be 100% if you want to believe those reports. If not, yes, smoke and mirrors. They're playing Jedi mind games on us. However, this report, I mean, I'll pull it back up. The last bit that Skip Bayless says, they don't think he would be able to guard Luka Doncic at this point. That right there, if we are to believe that to be a true statement from the Clippers, that right there shows you that they plan to have Kawhi Leonard guard Luka Doncic. Totally fine. I have yet to see a player in the NBA actually lock down Luka Doncic, let alone for one game for a 7-game series. I think they said Luka Doncic was averaging anywhere between 35 and 40 points a game in the past 2 matchups against the Clippers in the playoffs. Good luck, Kawhi, especially with the inflamed knee. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. Luka Doncic is going to mess around and get a 30-point triple-double with Kyrie Irving doing his thing as well. The whole team's going to feast. It's going to be amazing. And I honestly believe that Dante Exum is going to lock down James Harden. But that's a discussion for another day. For right now, as the reports stand, Kawhi Leonard is still questionable. You can believe Skip Bayless and say that, hey, no Kawhi, no problem. We're going to make it out the first round. Even if they're playing, even if they got everybody, I still believe Mavs in 4. Mavs in 3 if possible. I mean, that's just what I believe in. That's what I think is actually going to happen. All jokes aside, the Mavericks are ready to go. We don't have any question marks. We don't have any worries. We got Luka and Kyrie in the gym working hard day in and day out this entire week. We have guys taking it easy, resting, but also putting that work and getting ready mentally. There were other reports saying that Kawhi Leonard got an injection in his knee, hoping that could help. But, however, if you look at Kawhi Leonard's track record, he does not take his injuries lightly. Any little thing he will sit out for. However, it is the playoffs, so who really knows what's going to happen? We won't know until Sunday, and make sure you subscribe, because on Sunday we're going live for that game. We're going live for every playoff game, so if you can't watch the game, if you can't get it at home, you can watch me. Watch the game for you. I'll give you my live commentary, the play-by-play. It's going to be great. We're also doing a giveaway of a jersey. Make sure you become a channel member. That's the only way to enter in our giveaways. But until next time, y'all take care. We're going to be dropping videos nonstop until today in Game 1, so make sure you tune in. Peace.